welcome, Team California. Excited to be here with you guys. My name is Vinod Jatwani. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Guaranteed Rate Affinity. You may remember me by attending your amazing events called Agent Intel that we hosted in early December. It was nice to get away from Chicago, spend some time with you guys. And we came to you with something kind of unique and new, what we called as Agent Intel, which was hopefully value add for you guys on getting a crash course on some amazing ways to utilize AI and how you can truly build your business as an amazing agent. And we wanted to follow up with you guys. We heard from you guys that you wanted more, that we invited Jason Pantana back again for two 1-hour sessions. And we've brought him live to you guys in a webinar series to partner with you, share some more insights, do a little bit more of a deep dive. But before I get into it, Brian, thank you to you leading the charge in California with all of these amazing agents and loan officers. I know you have a big RSVP list. We have over 150 people and more joining on this call. Brian, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Excited to be here and looking forward to kicking off our first webinar for everyone.
Yeah, me too. And I'll share a little bit more about what our plans are before I pass it over to Jason. But just as a quick reminder, we want to tell you a little bit about GRA. You guys hopefully know us. We're driving to be a top 10 retail mortgage lender in the industry and want to make sure that we can partner with you guys and add value. Just a couple housekeeping things. This is being recorded, so we will send it to you later. And then I think people have already figured out we have enabled the chat. And be mindful of that as Jason goes through his presentation, but he wants this to also be a little bit interactive. But let's tell you quickly a little bit about GRA, and I'll do that with a little video here for you.
Homebuyers want simple and awesome. In fact, 79% of consumers think a one-stop shop makes the process easier. So we created Guaranteed Rate Affinity, a fintech mortgage company that streamlined the home buying process. We're not on the other side of town or hard to reach. We're simply always available. Our home financing experts offer more than 100 loan products and are backed by the best mortgage tech platform, helping you and your clients at any time from anywhere. Your clients will get pre-approved in minutes with a strong offer, even against all cash offers. And we'll approve them in as fast as 1 day, getting them to the closing table in as fast as 10 days. Speaking of the closing table, our flash close options shorten the closing appointment from hours to minutes. Or they can skip it entirely. It's their choice. Our Agent Advantage platform can do even more to help you look good to clients and sell more homes. Got any clients in need of a mortgage? Bring it home to Guaranteed Rate Affinity.
Guys, just wanted to share with you, our amazing loan officers have asked for this for you guys. Give us the opportunity to partner with you. But let's get into AI. You know, we had the sessions in December, and AI, obviously, it's changing our industry. And I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but leverage it on how it can make you a stronger agent. We as loan officers and at Guaranteed Rate Affinity, we have internal type of applications. And we're getting our loan officers to help streamline how they do their business and use it as an efficiency tool to try to drive more opportunities to them, as you can as an amazing agent as well. So what we're going to be going through are a couple things here. We reached out to you guys and we heard there are 4 different topics that you wanted to focus on coming from the 9 amazing topics that Jason spoke about. So for this session, we're going to be talking about the top 2, making ChatGPT an extension of you, and one-shot marketing plan. So those are the 2 focuses that we'll hit on during this session. And we'll come back in March and we'll share with you the dates and times for that session to go through AI rankings and then also the shift with Zillow. So before we delve into it and I introduce you to Jason, just as a reminder, guys, follow us on Instagram. Make sure that you're seeing Guaranteed Rate Affinity as a resource for you, not only for all things mortgage, but we have relative content in here for you guys to share, make you guys look good, and help you guys also just double your business. So who's ready to take AI to the next level? Let's go ahead and reintroduce Mr. Jason Pantana. Jason, you're out there. welcome. The stage is yours. You have a ton of amazing agents here and ready for them to hear more about all things AI. Take it away, my friend.
I am so stoked. And I just want to say thank you, Vinod. And Brian, thank you for this partnership. Thank you for the wonderful experiment we all conducted together. And everybody who's a part of this webinar too, you were part of that for our first 2 kickoff events of Agent Intel in Northern and Southern California. I had a fantastic time. I hope you did too. And I can admit, it probably felt like a fire hose to a lot of you in terms of, oh my goodness, there is so much that I can do with AI, to the point where maybe it even put you in this position of, I'm going to put my head in the sand. There's too much. Although I know that's not true, or you wouldn't be on this webinar. You're here today because you want to go deeper on the topics, because you truly want to figure out how can I do more, faster, better with AI behind what I'm doing. So I just want to say kudos to you. It is an honor to spend this time with you. We're doing 2 webinars, like Vinod said. This first one, we're going to deep dive, but I want to give you some sort of subtext. I'm going to do this webinar differently. I really don't have slides. We're going to go through a couple of slides just for some housekeeping stuff. But this is going to be a giant, I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to kick the tires of ChatGPT together. I'm going to keep my eye on the chat as much as I can. If you have questions or you want to share things, I want this, even though it's a webinar format, I want this to feel as interactive as possible, because my goal here is to make this a much more immersive training. We were together in person. I loved every moment of it. We were going through high level, these 9 actionable plays to run when it comes to AI, amplifying your marketing, putting you in action. This is going to feel a little bit different. Now, before I share my screen and before we get into it, I want to say something else to you. You may come across content today that makes you feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much I don't know about AI. I can't do this. I'm too busy. And you might feel this sense of, I should just ignore it. Might I encourage you? Might I implore you, do not give in to that sense of feeling. No, we're not going to boil the ocean here. We're going to try to learn 1 or 2 new things about AI that can give you an upper hand. The goal is, how do you AIify your marketing? Bit by bit, step by step. And so I hope that today is sort of a peeling back of the curtain, where you can feel a lot more confidence in the tools of the day, like ChatGPT and so forth, versus a sense of, there's so much I don't know, I'm so far behind. That's not a productive feeling. And that's not what I'm trying to elicit from you today. So I say thank you for making time to be on this session. It is my commitment to offer you maximum value, that you leave today feeling a sense of confidence and skill to utilize AI in your marketing. This meeting is being recorded. I'm sure they're planning to send it out to you. I really don't have slides I'm going to be giving to you, but I do have some special stuff I'll share at the very end for next steps in digging deeper into the contents. So that being said, I'm going to click the share screen button once I find it. And you should be seeing Welcome to AI Marketing Academy just in the chat. Can y'all confirm that you see the homepage here for AI Marketing Academy? Just somebody put something in the chat. I want to make sure I've got all my AV rolling. I see, okay, Katie for the win. Thank you, Katie. Yes, Katie sees it. And if Katie sees it, I am happy as a clam. Okay, first things first, we're going to just throw some slides up at you. This is a QR code to my link tree where we can connect on Instagram or YouTube or whatever your preferred platform is. I would love to be your best buddy forever on social media. So if you want to connect and go deeper, just scan that QR code there, or just Google Jason Pantana and let's connect. I want to be a resource for you there. As I mentioned, when we were together in California, I lead AI Marketing Academy. We are real estate's most actionable, most practical AI training platform. It is not a course. It is a platform. We are constantly sharing new trainings that have one singular goal in mind. How do we AIify your marketing? How do we put you into action with AI? There are a lot of people out there who are just talking, 50,000 feet pie in the sky about AI, to which I say, that's swell, but who has the time for that? I want to see you make money off of AI. I want to see you win buyers. I want to see you win listings. I want to see you get those listings under contract and make sellers love you. I want to see you AIify your marketing. And so what we're committed to is end-to-end trainings that teach you how to make some aspect of your marketing. Like we just did one last week on how do you make Instagram carousels with AI. So it's a practical marketing application of AI, all powered by AI, designed to help you save time, help you reduce your costs, boost your capacity, scale your efforts. Now, when we were together in California, you all saw this screen right here. These were the tools that we were talking about. We're going to be deep diving some of these tools. Today, we'll be deep diving ChatGPT. There may be some mentioning of Claude, just depending upon where the conversation takes us today. But my goal is I'm going to turn you into a ChatGPT power user today. That's my number one objective. Number two is there's a prompt inside the academy called a one-shot marketing plan. We're going to get into that. So like the 9 things, Vinod mentioned this, I mentioned this. This is just me helping you remember what we talked about. We shared 9 AI applications for your marketing. And the first 2 are going to be our point of focus today. The first one we said was make ChatGPT an extension of you. And you might recall I shared with you a custom GPT. We briefly mentioned Gemini gems. We didn't really get into ChatGPT projects, but we will today. And then we also talked about a one-shot marketing plan, multiply your marketing in 2026. This one, the second one, going to be a lot easier for us to kind of go through today. It is what it is, so to speak. But the first one here, making ChatGPT an extension of you, there's a lot to know about becoming a power user. So real quick in the chat, tell me your preferred large language model. Let me give you some options really fast. We have ChatGPT. We have Gemini by Google. We have Claude by a company called Anthropic. And we have Grok by Elon and X.AI. Which one is your AI of choice? Which one do you use the most? Do you use ChatGPT? Okay, I've seen a lot of chat, only chat. Some people are saying no sound on this. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Obviously you can because you're answering my questions. So turn the volume up is my answer for those who can't. Okay. Some of you are saying I see it. I'm trying to understand, was there something you couldn't see or have I just scrolled too far? I just scrolled too far. Okay, I'm sorry. That was me getting lost in the comments and I had not been reading along. Now I'm caught up. So most of you are using ChatGPT, sometimes Gemini. What I want to do today is give you sort of a flyover of really how do we turn you into a power user of ChatGPT, but also how do we make sure you're aware of what you could be doing that maybe Claude does a little bit better, maybe Gemini does a little bit better? Just give me like a thumbs up in the chat if that sounds like a useful time together with me, just going through becoming a power user. Just let me know in the chat. I'm seeing people like raise their hands and high five or whatever. That's good. We got some people who know how to use emojis. I have Molly saying, sure. I hear you saying like whatevs. Sure. Okay. All right, let me dive into some ChatGPT. By going to chatgpt.com. Now, for 15,230 fake points in the chat, who bankrolled ChatGPT in the beginning? For 15,230 fake points. Who bankrolled them? Me? Well, no, actually, no. They're not making enough money yet. It wasn't Musk. Nope. Elon Musk is Grok. But it does start with an M. Not Musk, but an M. That's your hint. OpenAI is the company that owns ChatGPT, the product. So ChatGPT is not a company. ChatGPT is a product. The product is owned by the company OpenAI, and OpenAI was bankrolled by, drumroll, Microsoft. Microsoft, that's why there is so much similarity between Copilot and Microsoft, because they bankrolled. But it's not a Microsoft company. It's just Microsoft money that got them up and running. Anyways, that's sort of just random information that you can file away for useless dinner conversation. I navigate to chatgpt.com. The first thing you should be aware of is there are different subscription tiers. They look like this. This is their pricing tiers. Free accounts, where you can just use it for $0 a month. You can actually use, I could just go, I'm in an incognito tab right here. I could just go to chatgpt.com and I am not logged in. I am not signed in. I can still ask it questions. It just won't remember my chats. So believe it or not, a huge portion of people are using ChatGPT like this. But then you can create a free account where you don't get all the bells and whistles per se, but it remembers your chats and things like that. Then there's the Go account for $8 a month. You just get a little bit more messaging, more memory, more images, more. These first 2 accounts, free and Go, you should be aware of this. On February 9th, ChatGPT has started pilot testing ChatGPT ads. ChatGPT ads are answers below the AI answer. And so if you ask ChatGPT a question, like what's the best hotel brand or something like that maybe, And I'm just making this up. There are only so many advertisers currently in there, like Target and Expedia. They're advertisers in the pilot program. So it's only major brands. But I want you to think about how you use ChatGPT. You type something in the message box and then it replies in the chat. Below its reply, we're going to start seeing ads. Currently, the ads are in pilot. Only select major brands have been invited to participate in that process, and only free and go users are eligible to see the ads. But that is most users, candidly, are free and go. I use ChatGPT Plus, which is the $20 a month. I used to use ChatGPT Pro for $200 a month, and I just did not find that it was warranted. I just didn't need it. So I downshifted to the $20 a month. And so just know that's where I am. Just take a look at this. It's just chatgpt.com/pricing and see which one makes sense for you. Like, for example, projects, tasks, and custom GPTs. These are things we're going to be getting into today. They're part of the Plus. So just be aware of you don't get everything depending upon your tier of subscription. This is true of everything. This would also be true of Gemini. This will be true of Grok. This will be true of Claude. So there's always money, money, money. This is kind of like streaming TV. There's YouTube TV, there's Hulu, there's Disney, there's ESPN, there's HBO Max, there's Paramount. It's more expensive, y'all, than cable was. What's the point of all this? Anyways, you're going to start seeing this battle for your wallet with these subscriptions. And my encouragement to you, I want you to commit this to memory. Here's my encouragement to you. Do it for free as long as you can. Just do it for free as long as you can. And then when you really like something and you need to pay for it, fork over the money and pay for it. Can I get an amen in the chat? Do it for free for as long as you can. Amen. Thank you, Sabrina. All right, let's jump over to some chatgpt.com. Bearing in mind, I am using the Plus subscription, which is $20 a month. Now, I've got a little cheat sheet. I'm going to drag it onto the screen. This is actually what I want to accomplish today. This is like my outline of what I'm hoping to get through to turn 10 steps to turning you into a power user. This is tiny. These notes are really for me. I just want you to see them on the screen to know that I worked hard to get ready for you. First things first, I wanted to talk about plans and access. We just talked about free, go, plus, and pro. I am aware this text is probably tiny. You don't need to read it right now. Differences in models, limits, and speed. Let's talk about that next. So when I jump over here to ChatGPT, I want to just give you some broad sections. First, you have the chat canvas. This is the chat canvas. And then over here is our left-hand sidebar. So we have a sidebar and we have a chat canvas, two parts of their user interface. We have this little drop-down selector. It says ChatGPT 5.2. These are the different models that you can use and the different modes of those models. So think about it like this. Software always has a version number. When an app comes out, it's version 1, and then it's 1.1, and then it's 1.2. And then for no apparent reason at all, it's version 4.6, and they don't tell you why they shifted numbers. ChatGPT and every AI is like that. They keep having an iterative naming convention. We are currently at Mark 5.2, GPT 5.2. Now, a quick little backstory on what is a GPT. So there's actually meaning behind the name or the acronym GPT. Back in 2017, there was a paper done within one of Google's research departments that theorized this new way of sort of programming. It was a new kind of architecture for software development, you could say. And it was called a generative pre-trained transformer, as in a GPT. It was developed at Google, theoretically. They released the paper internally, and then Google doesn't do a thing about it initially. But a little team forms called OpenAI, led by Sam Altman, with the intention of building the GPT that they heard about from Google. So there's kind of some irony that Google actually made the monster of ChatGPT in their own way. Proof that ideas are easy and execution is where all the money gets made. It's how you use the idea, how you put it to work that makes the difference. So when you see the name ChatGPT, what that means is you're in an interface that chats with a GPT. What's a GPT? A generative pre-trained transformer. Do you need to know more than that? Not really. Just call it an AI. and we're currently dealing with the iteration 5.2. Now, they have modes. Think of this like your car has normal mode, eco mode, sport mode. They have modes, auto, instant, thinking. I usually leave mine on auto. It decides how long to think. Instant is answers right away. I almost never use instant, but you would use instant if you are on a lower level account and you don't want to burn through your messaging limitations too quickly. Okay. I almost always leave it on auto. Sometimes I will force thinking. I'm going to ask you, I'm foreshadowing. So just listen close to what I say. When do I force thinking? When I know that I'm going to ask it to do a tall order and I don't want to risk the chance that it might go instant. Like if I'm going to ask it to make an image or something like that, I'm going to force it into thinking because I want it to really think about the task at hand. But 99% of the time I leave it on auto. They do have some older models. You can still access their old model GPT 5.1 or GPT 5.1 thinking. You would really only want to do that if you're trying to save money on your token limits. Now, you're like, a token limit? Jason, what's a token? Have you heard the term a token? Just in the chat, just say, yep, if you've heard about a token as it relates to AI or this business talking about tokens. I've only tried ChatGPT, okay? Has anybody heard of tokens? Nope, okay. So let's pretend you're going to Dave and Buster's with your kids, or you're going to Chuck E. Cheese and they want to play the games. So you go to the counter and you're like, can I get 50 tokens? And they say, give us money and we'll give you tokens. And then you go to the game, you want to go play Cruising USA. And they say, that'll be 5 tokens. Is a token a currency denomination? No, it's a conversion from, I paid the money at the register, they gave me the tokens, and the tokens are these little fractions of whatever it costs to do the thing. So in the world of AI, a token is effectively the equivalent of about 75% of one word. So in other words, the more you talk to the AI and the more it responds to you, the longer the message is, the more the background thinking, it's racking up tokens and you're going to hit a limit. All you have to know is they have a limit. They're going to cut you off. They might say you're cut off until tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then you get a replenishment of new tokens and you can go at it again. When you pay for ChatGPT, you get more tokens. Why does this matter? Well, go back to what I said before. Don't pay for anything until you have to. But if you keep getting cut off and you need to work longer with ChatGPT, pay them money and you'll get more tokens. Does that make sense? Are we good? Hopefully we're good. Okay, so this is the model selector, ChatGPT. We're choosing the AI that we're talking to. We're talking to it via chat. I don't want to overcomplicate this. Don't assume it's just a chat bot. The chat bot is just the way you talk to the AI. It's like making a telephone call to the Wizard of Oz. It's like text messaging with the Wizard of Oz. That's what ChatGPT is, okay? Now, next thing on my list, core interface. We already talked about the chat window. Let's talk about the prompt box. Prompt box. That's this dude here in the middle, this little box. It's more of an ellipse kind of a thing, or a pill-shaped icon. It's the prompt box, and its cursor is flashing because it wants you to start typing stuff, just like you would do in Google. Same kind of an idea. They also have this little plus where you can add files. I want you to notice you can add photos or files, PDFs, images. You can add spreadsheets. You can add PowerPoints. You can add text files, all kinds of stuff. You can even add short videos, although it doesn't do very well with videos. You can link your Google Drive account and it can actually go inside your Google Drive account. You can have it create an image. You can have it do deep research. You can have it do shopping for you. You can have it do web search. Under more, you can have it do study and learn mode. You can have it go full agent mode. It gives you a quota of these. Some of this depends upon your paid tier that you're in. But agent mode is I let ChatGPT actually just take over my whole screen and start doing stuff on its own. It literally starts navigating the web, going to websites, doing things for me. You can add additional sources. If I click add sources, you can add sources. I can search for connected sources, ignore that one. Going back to the more, whoops, wrong button. You can connect other apps like Canva and Zillow and explore apps. We're going to get into apps in a little bit. So this is, for right now, toolbar, you can add things. Over here, we got this little microphone for voice dictation. Sometimes you're lazy like me and you don't really want to type something. So I could say, I'm thinking about saying something of significance. I want it to be incredibly meaningful. I want to say how appreciative I am of these amazing realtors who attended Agent Intel in Northern and Southern California back in the first week of December. How grateful I am that they showed up here again. Can you say this back to me in Spanish? So I just voice dictate. It captures it perfectly, like word for word, acronyms and all. I hit go, and then it's going to talk back to me and convert that to Spanish, just like I said. Okay, so just demonstrating some of the capabilities. That's their voice dictation, but they also have their full-blown voice mode, which I think we demonstrated this when we were together inside at California, but I'll do it again. Voice mode is really, it's quite nice because you can just have a conversation with it. Now, by the way, ChatGPT, I'm on their website, but they also have a desktop app. Like for example, if I click it open here, this is the ChatGPT app on my Mac. You can get it for Windows, for Mac. They also have a smartphone app, and all of your conversations stay in sync between everything, which is super nice. So this voice mode here that I'm going to demonstrate, it's really useful when you're on your phone because it's hands-free. So like I can click on voice mode. Let's give it a shot here. I might have to do some self-muting because just so you know, it's going to hear itself talking and think that I'm interrupting it. So let's give it a shot here. Hey, ChatGPT, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How's your day going so far?
I am hanging out with some amazing real estate professionals on a webinar. Can you say what's up?
Absolutely. To everyone in the webinar, what's up? You're in great company, and I hope you're all bringing your A game today.
So I think that voice chat is a really useful tool for brainstorming. I think it's really useful for ideation. What do you think are the top 3 ways somebody could use, specifically a real estate professional could use voice dictation?
Voice dictation can be a game changer for real estate pros. First, use it for quick property notes while touring. Capture key details on the fly. Second, dictate personalized follow-up messages or emails to clients. Makes outreach faster and more authentic. Third, brainstorm and outline your marketing content, blog posts,
Hey, hold
video
up.
scripts, or social media
I
ideas.
used the wrong word. Hold up. I said voice dictation. I meant voice chat. I'm sorry. Could we clarify that?
No worries. So if we're talking voice chat instead, then I'd say first, use it for live strategy sessions with clients. Conversations flow naturally. Second, brainstorm marketing ideas with your team in real time. Bounce concepts back and forth. Third, offer virtual coaching or Q&A for agents. Your guidance becomes more personal and immediate.
I saw this thing on Instagram. I want to see if you can do it. Can you say ha 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 ha?
Sure, I can do that, though I'll keep it to just a few. Ha 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 ha. Got it.
It worked. Okay, great. So you can have all kinds of fun with your new best bud, ChatGPT voice mode. I will say to you, the other AIs, like Grok has a pretty good voice mode. It's pretty good. Claude does not have a good voice mode. Claude's amazing at a lot of other things. Voice mode is not where it's at. Claude, in fact, their dictation is very inaccurate. I would say that Claude's voice dictation, that's the equivalent of this, is like Siri voice dictation. And you all know, if you've ever voice dictated a text message through Siri, it said some wildly offensive things to people that you never meant for it to ever say, embarrassingly so. So the chat in ChatGPT is definitely the best. I think Gemini's is pretty good, but ChatGPT's got the best voice chat feature. Okay, so that's their toolbar. Let's talk about sidebar navigation. And then we already did the model selector and the thinking mode. So let's just talk about the sidebar navigation. All you have to do is click the little OpenAI logo. It opens your sidebar and you can do a new chat. You can search chats. You can see your library of whatever images ChatGPT's made for you. You can explore apps. I'll get into that later. Deep research. We're not going to talk about Codex today. Codex is more of a web development if you're building websites and stuff like that. We don't have to go there. We are today going to talk about all your custom GPTs. They can be in the sidebar, but you can also click the little action menu and you can hide from sidebar if you don't want to see it over there. Then down below that, we have projects. We'll talk about those today. I can collapse that folder. I can collapse this folder, and then you see all your chats here. So this is your sidebar. At the very bottom is where you see sort of your face and you have your account settings and you can go into all of that. So you can see my username, I can upgrade a plan, personalization, settings, help, etc. Okay. One note while I'm here, I believe if you click on help, they do have a handy dandy little keyboards shortcut, which is super nice. If you click keyboards shortcuts, it tells you all mine's for Mac. It will do it for Windows if you're on a Windows machine, but it's all the keyboard shortcuts you can move super fast. Like how do you copy the last thing it gave you, a new message, a previous message, focus the chat input. You can do all kinds of cool little things here just to control your use of ChatGPT. All right, next up, personalization, custom instructions, memory, and temporary chats. Let's talk about personalizing your ChatGPT because out of the box, everybody's ChatGPT is kind of subject to the same defaults. Your ChatGPT, my ChatGPT, it's all kind of the same. We have to make it different and unique for you. How do you do that? You personalize it. So if you click on your little face here and you go into your settings here, you could have actually, I could have just clicked personalization, but that would have just deep linked me to the third tab in the settings. So just clicking through settings, we have general, your appearance. Do you want light mode or dark mode? Is there an accent color that you like? Notice mine's green back there. Who cares? You can change your voice. Like I use Maple here.
Hi there. Nice to meet.
But you could also change it to another person.
Hey, what's up? Feel free to ask me about anything that's on your mind. I'm ready to go.
Let's go, Vale.
Hello, it's lovely to meet you.
It is
If there's
lovely,
anything
Val.
you need, please don't hesitate to let me know.
They've added some new
I'm here to
voices.
help.
Okay, I'm gonna keep Val for a while. Separate voice keeps ChatGPT voice in a separate full screen without real-time transcripts for visuals. Remember, it was transcribing real time for me. You don't have to do that. I found there was no latency, so I was fine leaving my chat there because it was really quick to respond to me, but you have some controls here. Personalization. This is really important. So first thing you can do is base, style, and tone. I leave mine on default, but you can control is yours professional, friendly, candid, quirky, efficient, nerdy, cynical. You have a lot of control here to give it sort of a personality that reflects the way you want to engage with it. Just my only caveat is I leave it default because I use my ChatGPT for a variety of tasks. Sometimes I'm using it because I'm researching what movies I want to watch with my kids this Friday night. Other times I'm having it write marketing copy. And so I don't want to have a skew one way or the other without having been thoughtful or intentional about that. Down here, characteristics, choose additional customizations on top of your base. So warm, I can make it less or more warm. I'm actually going to make mine less enthusiastic. That's going to go a long way. Headers and lists. I can use more headers or fewer headers. I'm probably going to go less too. I actually didn't know those were there. Those are new. So I'm going to have, it does so many headers whenever it's giving replies. I find it to be obnoxious sometimes. And then emojis, fewer emojis, please. So I can tone it down a notch if you want. Custom instructions. This one's really important. You can give it details about how you want it to respond, custom. So like I have always provide accurate information. No insincere praise or pandering. Keep answers concise, clear, and structured. Write in a conversational, semi-formal tone. Sound natural and human. Leverage prior context. Just a heads up, for those who are in the AI Marketing Academy, I believe if you just say custom instructions in the search, you will find that I did, when you use ChatGPT versus project. In this personalize your ChatGPT session, I gave you my own custom instructions. So if you want mine, you can use them and then tweak them, but they're there for you. Anyways, that is what I have here. And then offer practical, actionable advice, be iterative and collaborative. You do have a character limit, but I have these instructions. Then you're able to add about you. I'm Jason. I tell it what I do. It understands I'm a speaker, coach, content creator. I run AI Marketing Academy. It knows I wear lots of hats, just like you wear lots of hats, so that it has a better ability to understand my occupation and figure out, oh, it's work time. And it knows when to punch the card and do the work with me versus when I'm asking it about Friday night movie night. Okay, next thing on my list, more about you. Give me 1 second while I check to make sure all AV is going okay. All right, it's going okay, I think. All right, more about you. I just gave it more context about who I am, that it's multifaceted. You need to personalize your ChatGPT and the custom instructions. And then down here in memory, let's zoom out. Let's rezoom this a little bit better for ourselves. Memory, you can have it reference saved memories. You can have it reference browser memories, reference chat history. I leave all these things on, but you can manage your memory. So if I click on this manage, I can see what it's chosen to remember. I'll be honest with you, sometimes ChatGPT decides to remember the most random, useless stuff. It's like, okay, Jason likes black beans instead of refried beans whenever possible. And it chooses to remember things that I'm like, when is that ever going to be relevant again? So sometimes its decision to activate a memory is annoying, but you'll actually see it in the chat. It'll flash a little bit of text that says managing memories or updating memories. And it's remembering details about you. ChatGPT does not know everything you've said about any other chat. It says reference chat history. Let ChatGPT reference all previous conversations when responding. If that is turned on, there are two things I want you to know. One, does ChatGPT, when you turn on reference chat history, can you ask it any question about any chat from any other chat you've had? No, it does not have an eidetic memory. It doesn't remember everything. It's more of a general remembering of things. Two, the other thing I want you to know about this is it really works a lot off of kind of short-term memory. And so let's say, for example, you start a chat and you're working on, I don't know, an email that you want to send to some of your seller clients because their home has been sitting on the market, blah, blah, blah. So ChatGPT helps you draft that email. And then you start a new chat right away, and it's a whole different topic. You're trying to work on a reply to the teacher for the PTA thing. Sometimes ChatGPT will sort of convolute, and because you were just doing this thing with the seller, it thinks you're still doing it in a new chat. That is this feature being turned on, reference chat history. So try it, don't try it, but if you ever get annoyed about when it can't seem to get out of a chat and into a new chat, this is the reason why. Okay, just really fast in the chat. Is this helpful? Are you learning some new things about ChatGPT right now? By the way, I didn't realize you were commenting because it wasn't scrolling down. So I just want to have a second to notice what you've been commenting about. So Elena, free version, let's take a look here. You're asking about pricing. Let's find voice mode. Command F, voice. Free is supposed to have voice. Voice with video, no. You have limited voice. Now, one thing I didn't tell you, I should have told you. On the voice mode, if you're on your phone, you can actually do a full-on video chat. Like, so for example, I can show this to you really quick. Let me share my phone screen really quick. You should be seeing my phone screen. And if I go to ChatGPT, I'm going to open up my ChatGPT on my phone. Here I am. If I click on the little voice button, which is right here, if I click on that, I'm going to click on this here. And
I
it's gonna
can't see
go-
what you're clicking on, but I'm here for whatever comes next. If you need help with something specific after you click, just let me know what you're seeing or thinking.
Hey,
and we'll
Val.
tackle-
Hey, Val. Do you see me now?
Yes, I can see you clearly now. What's on your mind while
Do
you've
I
got me
look
on
happy
video?
or sad?
Of course, I'm here and ready.
No.
Just let me know.
Look at me. Do I look happy or sad?
From what I'm seeing, you look pretty upbeat. Your
I am.
expression seems more on the happy or at least calm side.
Tell me
If
now,
there's
do
more
I seem
behind the
happy
look,
or sad?
That expression now, you've got your brow furrowed and a pretty serious look. I'd say that leans more toward a sad or focused vibe.
I just
But-
noticed you changed the way you were speaking to me. You shifted your voice shifted down a little bit in pitch. Was that because you were sensing I was sad?
Actually, no, I wasn't adjusting based on sensing emotion. Sometimes naturally I might vary tone just to keep the conversation flowing or thoughtful.
Do you
But if
ever
you're
shift
feeling
based on
something,
where the
you're-
conversation is going?
No worries at all. We're just exploring
I
ideas
don't think you're
here.
hearing me very well.
If you've got something specific you want to pivot to, I'm all
Uh,
ears.
I want to pivot to goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, let me jump back to the chat. Hopefully that was coming through okay. Every time I have to go back to this, I have to scroll all the way down. Yes, I look tense. That was my tense look. Okay, so I see Christina, you're overwhelmed. Hey, all we're doing is I'm just showing you what's in the box. I'm just showing you what's there. You don't need all of it, but I thought it might be useful if you could see what's in the box to turn yourself into a power user. Still looking at the comments. If you tell it not to hallucinate, can you actually eliminate hallucinations? So Joel asks that question. Let's talk about what is a hallucination. A hallucination is where AI basically fabricates something, makes it up completely out of thin air. It typically occurs when it doesn't have a clear understanding of what you're trying to accomplish and it thought it didn't matter. The AI is fundamentally focused on trying to please you, trying to help you. It's trying to be a helpful assistant. And so sometimes it will think that the most helpful thing it could do is lie through its teeth to help you accomplish the task because it doesn't understand that accuracy is the most important thing. Hey, by the way, on the cheat sheet, I will make you aware of this just for those who are watching. Two things. One, I'll share my little notes with Vin and the team. This is a test. This webinar is a new idea. I'll share that so that you can be aware of everything we talked about. Most of this, I really want you to have kind of a loose grip on the session where I'm just being exposed to things it can do. I'm not going to quiz you at the end of this. It's just more about if I say something that's like, oh, I didn't know it could do that, and that solves this problem, then that's great. If you are in the academy, you may be interested. We do have a session here. If you scroll back to the session we did where are you at? Right there it is. June. The June lecture was personalize your ChatGPT. There's a lot more here on this specific topic where we personalize your ChatGPT. If you want to go back and watch that, lots of resources, lots of stuff like that. Let me keep us moving though, because we're doing a whole flyover. And again, loose grip, folks. I don't expect you to remember everything here. Loose grip. A couple more things to be aware of in the settings. Apps. You can actually connect apps. If you're a Canva user, you can actually connect your Canva account to ChatGPT. It can use it. Your Google Drive, Zillow. If you go back to, here it is, add more. So I'm in the settings, apps. Look at all the apps that you can add. They have their own little app stores, Spotify, Target, Figma, and what's Photoshop. And what's interesting about it is when you connect an app to a chat, like you can go into a new chat, I hit a plus, and I can actually connect like Canva, and it's actually it. So I can say, make a 3x4 Instagram carousel. And it's not, I didn't give it a whole lot of instruction here, but I can actually tell it to go design something for me. The only thing I should tell you is it's a really crappy designer. So it's not that great. It's cool that you can connect it, but you're honestly spinning your wheels. The apps just aren't that powerful yet. They will be, but right now, just know that it can be done, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay. Let's close that tab. Nothing to make you aware of. Let's go back into my settings here. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. Let's go settings. We talked about apps. Next, I want to talk about schedules. So ChatGPT can be scheduled to run again after it completes a task. So you can actually schedule chats and you don't have to be there. So like write a market update on a Sunday. So like I could hit the pencil on this and you can create a task in ChatGPT where you can call it whatever you want and then you give it an instruction and then you can set up the cadence at 4:56 p.m. on Saturdays every week. Do this thing for me. Conduct research and write a 2-paragraph market update about the local luxury real estate marketplace in Nashville. Focus on key areas like Oak Hill, Forest Hills, Belmead, and Brentwood. I actually have schedules where ChatGPT searches my name every day. What has been said about me on the internet today about Jason Pantana, and then it tells me, and it actually emails me what it finds. I don't have to go in to find the chat. Now the chat will be in my chat history. So like, for example, if I scroll down, I see this one here, AI Breakthroughs Report. There's a little blue dot. You see that blue dot? It's blue because I haven't opened it, but it happened automatically because I have a scheduled chat that I believe every day it goes through and it looks for what's new in AI and then it reports to me every day. So that's just another thing to make you aware of. In your settings, you have this thing called schedules, depending upon the tier that you're a part of. Remember, I'm the plus tier. This is about, I'm trying to give you a full flyover of what's there, and they have schedules. Orders is a little bit different. So orders is if you're doing shopping. It's funny, one of you actually at the Northern California event blew my mind on orders. So if I do a new chat with ChatGPT and I click the toolbar here, I can add shopping research. And so one of you was saying it was before Christmas. And so one of you was like, I was trying to find this pair of jeans for my granddaughter for Christmas. I couldn't find them anywhere. So I told ChatGPT I'd turn the shopping research on and I told it I need it by this date and I need this size and this color. And it found it at some random local boutique in Arkansas. They shipped it to me and I had it in 2 days. Couldn't find it anywhere else, had it in 2 days. So this little shopping buddy, this isn't going to help you with your business, but it might help you with your life. So when you look at the settings here, the orders is if you buy stuff through ChatGPT, just like if you buy stuff through Instagram, they've got orders. Data controls, I'm not going to really get into that. One note is improve the model for everyone. I have mine off. What that basically means is don't look at my chats and train on them, please. So I turn that off. That's just one note. Security, I totally recommend having two-factor or multi-factor authentication on. You can do parental controls if you have family members, and that is the settings. Okay, now, jumping back to, we went through all settings and control. We talked about all this. Tools and capabilities. Let's jump into these tools and capabilities. So if I go back to my ChatGPT, let's just do a new chat. My tools and capabilities are here on my toolbar. I can add files and more. I can also hit the backslash and do the same thing. So you could go backslash or just hit your little plus icon. And my tools are I can create an image. I can do deep research. How is deep research different? Well, if I do deep research, it adds the tool. I can also tag in other apps. Like let's use some other apps in conjunction with it. Or what kind of websites. I have some specific websites I do or don't want to look at. I can have it go do sophisticated research for me, where it will spend 10 or 15 minutes doing research and then reporting its findings to me. So deep research, really cool function. All the other AIs do the same thing. Grok does it, Perplexity does it, Claude does it, Gemini does it. I actually think Gemini does the best deep research. Gemini and Perplexity, I think do the best. But ChatGPT's got it. And I would rather see you find a tool that does most of what you want and subscribe to it than find 10 tools that kind of do what you want and then oversubscribe to stuff. All right, let's keep on rolling with ChatGPT. Tools, they also have this web search. So web search is different than deep research. So here's a question. Do I have to turn web search on to make it search the web? The answer is no. I could just tell it to search the web. You don't actually have to turn these tools on to do things. Like I could say, do research on blank. I could say, make an image of, I don't know, Snoopy if he was on Sesame Street. This is probably a trademark violation. It'll probably tell me I can't do it against its policies. But I don't have to enable the tool for an image. It's going to create an image for me right here in the chat. And then that image is going to get stored in my image library, but I can download it here. I can tweak it and all kinds of fun stuff. I can share it. You have all kinds of different tools here. Okay. It's going to take a second. So let's keep on moving. I think I covered most of the tools I wanted you to see. Oh, and as far as like adding files, you could, if I jump back over here, I could say I want to add photos and files, or literally I could just grab a file and drag it and drop it. And then it attaches just like an email. It's so easy, so easy. I'm really curious how Snoopy and a Sesame Street character is going to come to look. It is going for it. Tries the Sesame Street fun. It's funny. Really slow. All right. Let's move down to in-chat actions. So this is going to be a little bit, there's some cool hacks to be aware of. So let's jump into a chat that I've already been doing, just for instance, or let's do one together. ChatGPT, do research. Oh, now it's done. I got to find out. That's lame, but whatever. Share, download, thumbs up, thumbs down, download. Those are your options. Okay. You can copy it. You can branch to a new chat. so that I could actually take this as a pivot point, start a new chat based on it, just showing you what's there inside of ChatGPT so you can be a power user. Do research on recommending real estate agents who specialize in selling luxury Franklin TN homes, specifically new construction or newer builds. Okay, it's going to search the web. I didn't have to tell it to search the web. It searches the web, and then it makes some recommendation. Here's Jessie Scarlotta. She's a good friend, and it's making some recommendations here. And then I've got these tools down here that you should look at. I can click this to copy everything it just said. Easy. I can thumbs up or thumbs down it to train it. I can share this answer. I can put it on X, LinkedIn, Reddit. I can copy a link to this answer. Pretty cool. I can try again. I can do more actions. I could read it aloud.
Here are some real estate agents and teams who are known for working with higher end homes in Franklin, TN. And
Let's stop reading it aloud. I can branch in a new chat. So like branching in a new chat means, let's say your conversation kind of turns a corner and you want to double down on the new corner, you can branch into a new chat. I can see all the sources. These are the websites it looked at, and I can analyze those websites. So there's some ChatGPT. Let's talk about where we went with custom GPTs and projects. We brought this up when we were together in California, and I want to show you those because this is where you get really, really customized with ChatGPT. Okay, so I'm going to jump back over to my chat. And on the left-hand sidebar, you remember GPTs and projects. Let's explain what they are, when you use them, and how they're different, because they are very similar to each other. If you are somebody who finds yourself starting a new chat to repeat the same task that you do all the time, like writing listing descriptions. I start a new chat, I tell it all about the property, I give it my prompt, and then I write listing descriptions. You're restarting from zero when you could have a higher baseline and be a little bit further along with a custom GPT. Here's what a custom GPT is. Imagine you had a chat that there was already a message in the chat before you started it that told it all the rules of the chat so that you don't have to repeat yourself every time. That's a GPT. You're starting at a further starting point because it's already been fed underlying instructions and direction so that it's not starting from zero every time. It's got a better baseline to repeat a process, to repeat a task. Now, when do you want to think about a custom GPT? Whenever you have a repeatable task. So from a marketing standpoint, what are repeatable tasks that you do again and again and again? Well, I'm going to jump over to, I'm going to click Explore GPTs. This takes you into a GPT store. Heads up, this is not their app store. Remember, they have an app store, which is where you actually connect, you like authenticate by logging in to your Canva, and then the apps get connected. This is different than that. You can have a custom GPT that others have made available, or you can just go to your GPTs up here. And you're going to see in my GPTs, I've got lots of custom GPTs. Here's one called Zillow ChatGPT Remarks Optimizer. And it's only available to me. I haven't opened it up to everybody else. And I can delete it, or I can click the little pencil to edit it. I'm going to do that in a moment. I'm going to actually right click this here to open it. I'm going to open it in a new tab. And this is what it would look like. So you're jumping into a chat with this specific GPT of yours that's already operating on the baseline of the system prompt you gave it. What is the system prompt? I'm going to click the edit pencil, and you're going to see here on the left-hand sidebar under configure, you can name it whatever you want. You can describe it however you want, but the instructions, this is that prompt before you prompt that gives it kind of the underlying instructions that it operates by. And I've got a lot of detailed instructions here. So what I want you to think about is when would I want to use a ChatGPT custom GPT? I'm going to give you my list in a moment here, okay? In just a moment. Before I do, I want to juxtapose how are GPTs different than projects. So if I click on the sidebar, you also see below GPTs projects. Projects, I can click, let's do a new project here, new project. So it wants to know, maybe you're planning a trip to Copenhagen. Maybe you're brainstorming a new business model. Maybe you're brainstorming a new marketing plan, investing, homework, writing. I'm going to say, because this is actually on my mind, I'm going to say aim content migration. Okay. Create. And I can click the little gear up here, by the way. And I can say memory. This project can access memories from outside chats and vice versa. Or this project can only access its own memories, and its memories are hidden from outside chats. So I can lock this baby down like Fort Knox. So like, let's say that maybe you create, hey, I want to really brainstorm some things around this particular part of my business, but I don't want that sort of messing with my algorithm. Think about like if you have a Netflix family account, like I have a profile, my wife has a profile. I don't like it when my wife watches shows on my profile because she screws up my algorithm and I screw up her algorithm. This is like that. You can have a project where, hey, I don't want this to screw up my memories and make my whole ChatGPT a little bit lopsided. So you can contain it unto itself so that any chat that's inside this project, think of a project like a file folder, any chat in there, it's safe from spilling out of there into other things. So whatever you want to do there, you can. Then you can create a project. And when you do, you have the ability to load in sources to the project. Here's all the history of chats in the project. You can click on your project settings here and you can look at this. You can add instructions on how it behaves. So projects and GPTs are similar in that they both let you have instructions that tell the project or the GPT, hey, this is what's going down in here. Projects tend to be a little bit more free-flowing. They're for brainstorming and exploration, whereas GPTs are for repeated tasks. This is locked in. So I made a list of repeated tasks. You should be thinking about GPTs for like your email newsletter, your blog writer, listing remarks, captions for social media, scripts for video scripts, market analysis for listings or neighborhoods, thumbnail creation, carousels. And in fact, if you go inside of AIM, if you're a member in the Academy, if you click to the profile, if you scroll down to our resource library, I actually have a whole section here called bots. These bots are all my custom GPTs that I've made for members, all of them. So like here's a bot that makes Instagram carousels for you that are branded. Here's a bot, or to say a GPT. I couldn't say GPT. It's not mine to say. So I call them bots. Same thing. Here's a bot that makes cover photos for your Instagram Reels. Here's one that writes Zillow optimized listing descriptions. Here's one that does an automated homeowner market report email system to keep your sellers informed. Here's one that does a full email newsletter that's designed in HTML. And there's pages of these things. So you can jump over. That was actually a good one. Let me go back. This one's a price reduction angle generator for stale listings. So literally you open it up and it asks you, it tells you how to make it and everything in here, step by step. But it asks you about your listing and for some market data. And then it comes up with a way to talk to your seller to go get it to angle for a price reduction. So I keep adding to this repository of more and more custom GPTs for one-off marketing tasks. If you want to become a power ChatGPT user, I would tell you knowing the platform's capabilities is going to make your life easier. But the real super strength is GPTs. You should have your own little army of apps called GPTs for all your one-off repeated marketing tasks because they're going to help you do it faster and they're going to help you lock in to make it more consistent. Okay, so that is a flyover of ChatGPT. I know we're already like pushing time. I'm going to go very quickly on the one-shot marketing plan, and then I'd like to just kind of peek at the chat for any more questions or comments that might be coming up that I need to hit. The chat does not scroll with me, so that's kind of annoying that it doesn't because I'm missing your comments, and I apologize. Okay, the one-shot marketing plan is something we talked about, and I gave you access to this when we were together in California. I want you to know there's a full video training on this. This training is an hour long, and it's all about my philosophy for building a marketing plan. Candidly speaking, I think most marketing plans are just kind of lousy. Um, and I have embedded my notions of how to build a marketing plan into this prompt. I gave you the prompt when we were together. It's in your slides from back in California. So if you have those slides, you still have this. And it's called the Marketing Plan Prompt Builder. All the resources inside of AIM, they always explain what this resource is, just to help jog your memory and give you a sense of its purpose. And then they tell you how to use it. And this is always a literally step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. If you do not have that, I'm going to put it in the chat real quick. I see your thing. So let me just replying. Try to put it in the chat. Where is the chat button? It's not, hang on. It's not fitting on my screen properly. So bear with me. I got to move this over here. All right, there. Go click on that. It might require an email address, okay? But otherwise, it should be unlocked for you. Okay. Brian, how do you get ChatGPT to recommend you to potential clients? That's going to be our next webinar's topic. We're going to deep dive into that, okay? Back to this. So this prompt is right here. It's a one-shot marketing plan. And what you need to know about it is all you have to do is literally copy and paste it into ChatGPT. Just copy, go to ChatGPT. Let's go start a new chat. Paste it, and it will read the prompt, and it will start asking you questions about it. So welcome, we'll build the step-by-step. First question, what name or team name should appear on your plan? If you look at the prompt in detail, it's just like there's a lot here. It's a really long prompt, but what do you care? All you have to do is copy and paste it and then answer its questions. And it's going to help you build a marketing plan, but that marketing plan follows my framework, which has these parts to it. Part 1 is an audit. It's going to ask you about your current business, understand where you're at with production and finances. It's going to determine your goals. Where do you want to be by the end of the year? It's going to help you identify the sources of business that are going to lead to, I'm going to get this many deals from my sphere. I'm going to get this many deals from Zillow or whatever it is. Channels, these are the marketing channels that we're going to utilize to actually contact these folks. And then last is going to build a plan for you. And so what I would encourage you to do, keeping things simple, is just copy and paste the prompt that I just gave you into ChatGPT and then start answering its questions. And I think you're going to be blown away by how detailed it gets on building out your marketing plan. It's the way I would think of it is I put myself as if I was your one-on-one business coach inside the prompt so that it turns your ChatGPT into me to turn into your marketing coach. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's answer some questions. I see, will I explain bots? Yes, bots is a made up word for like custom GPTs. It basically means it's not just a prompt that I put inside of ChatGPT for a one-off chat. It is a specialty prompt that is supposed to serve as the instructions of your custom GPT so that that custom GPT, every time you go back to it, it executes with precision the same way every time. So think of a bot as me giving you the setup guide for creating an actual AI assistant who helps you, in this case, make Instagram carousels or make cover photos or write listing descriptions that are optimized for Zillow and stuff like that. Okay. Let's see. So Julie, did I explain bots well enough? Was that helpful? Hopefully it was. What are the odds of the other agent's marketing plan through ChatGPT looking very similar? Not very likely. I would encourage you, Jeanette, read the prompt. Read the prompt. It's so stinking thorough. We're going to make it very tailored to you. And it's very dependent on how you answer its questions. Because I told my prompt that you paste into your ChatGPT will instruct your ChatGPT to ask you all the questions I would ask you. And the answers you provide are going to be direct inputs to how it builds your marketing plan. Therefore, it cannot be like everybody else's. All right, I heard the Plus version can help build an app. I don't want to go there. That's like Codex. And I think I'm going to make everybody's heads explode if we go there. So I'm going to skip that question. Next question from Michelle. Are we getting the link to this video so we can watch it again? I think Vin has it, and I think he plans to share it. Yay, GRA, they're the best. Is it necessary to have a custom GPT for each task? Necessary? No. Is it available to you? Yes. So like if you look at my custom GPTs, let me find my GPTs. Let's just click. I guess I moved away from them. If I click here and I go to GPTs, explore GPTs, my GPTs, I have lots of GPTs. The price reduction angler helps you get a price reduction. The Perplexity Search GPT blog builder, listing remarks that are optimized for Zillow, plain text email newsletter generator, a done with you blog writer GPT, a stubborn seller angle generator, MLS photo description generator, deep market insight for video scripts, content creation, like load more. I have a whole app store of my own GPTs, so to speak. And this is a huge part of what I do inside of AIM. Not all of it, but a huge part of it is I give you all these bots. I'm not saying that you have to be a member of AIM. I'm just saying if you're watching right now, you're like, this is making my head hurt. I'm just letting you know, I give you the step-by-step on how to build these things so they're already there for you to use them, so that all you're doing is using the tools, not just building the tools. But I do think if you're going to use ChatGPT powerfully, I'll try to put it as simply as I can. Let's say that I want to write a really great Instagram reel script for a video. I could just start a fresh chat with ChatGPT and I could just, chat back and forth until I get what I want. Or I could spend a little bit of time, one time, really deciding I want my Instagram reel scripts to conform to a specific structure. I want them to have certain types of CTAs. I want them to have a kind of runtime limitation, and then I can have it that way every time, like a flywheel. If you want to have a marketing flywheel, you're going to want to set up custom GPTs and projects inside ChatGPT. I will tell you, we have trainings on that too. So in addition to the one I showed you before, the personalize your ChatGPT, you're going to also be interested in the session we did here, which is GPTs for everyday marketing. It's a full training all about custom GPTs in ChatGPT. So if you're getting this, super duper, get to work. If you need some more help, I've got the help for you inside of AIM. And in fact, let me jump over to some slides really quick. I believe AI is an absolute force multiplier of you. Helps you do more, helps you do it faster, helps you do it better. Today, we talked ad nauseum about just ChatGPT. I want to go back to where I started with this. My objective is not to make you a graduate level knowledge broker of all things AI. That's what I want to be. I want to help you apply AI to your marketing. The problem I want to solve for agents is the problem of inconsistent marketing. Where does inconsistent marketing come from? It comes from not having enough time or wherewithal or knowledge to execute marketing on a repetitious basis. I believe AI is a big solution for that. The trainings are very strategic and very step-by-step. You may feel like there's so much I don't know about AI. Who cares? The question is, what can AI do for me? And that's the focus of AIM. How can it be put to work to solve for specific problems or gaps in your marketing? If you want to dive into AI Marketing Academy, we are a monthly or yearly membership. We don't have contracts, so you can do it for a month and cancel, or you can just keep going. It's really your prerogative. If you want to learn more, scan that QR code or go to aimarketingacademy.com and you can learn more about us. And if you want to enroll, so again, we can do monthly or annual plans. Monthly plan is a retail cost of $199 per month. The annual plan is a retail cost of $1,997 per month. If you do the math, it's like 2 months savings if you go annual. But again, month to month versus year to year. So it depends on how committed you are right now. If you use this coupon code, GRA30Web, GRA30Web at checkout, it will take 30% off your account forever. It's locked in as long as you're a member. Whether you choose the monthly or the yearly, you're locked in. GRA30Web. Apply that at checkout and it will take your $199 down to about $139 per month. My encouragement is watch this training back if you feel like you need to. Tinker with ChatGPT. See, okay, does knowing how to use this tool help me do more? I mean, my goodness, I would say to you, your MLS. Think about what it was like when you became a new agent. Your MLS was hard to use, but once you got good at it, it was a main tool in your business. Your CRM, same thing. Your CRM was so hard to learn, but once you learned how to use it, it became it's a hammer and a wrench and a screwdriver. ChatGPT is just like that. All these tools are just like that. Once you learn to harness them, they're going to make everything go faster, smarter, and better. And it's my goal to help be your guide in making sure you have a high degree of confidence in using these tools. Okay, then if you're there, you can jump back on. I'm going to just peek at the comments and see if there's more that I've missed. I'm way over. So I see why GPT and not Copilot. No comment. It's my answer. No comment. You can use Copilot if you want to. I said in the beginning, the big players are Claude, Grok, Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini. Pick your favorite. Most people are using ChatGPT. Most people. All right. I'm looking. Do you guys see any, Brian, do you see any other comments that we need to address?
No, I think you got it, man.
Sweet.
Great
Oh,
job,
Bethany,
by the way,
yeah,
great job.
hey, thank you. Hopefully that wasn't too bad of a fire hose. You don't have to know everything. There's no pop quiz. It's just about using the tool a little bit smarter, and maybe you learned one or two things you didn't know to become more of a power user today. I hope so.
That was great. Thank you, Jason. Hour and 10 minutes or so of amazing just education, content, usability to build your business, as you guys are amazing agents. So, Brian, anything you'd like to say to the audience for a quick recap here, my friend?
Well, I did take 2 pages of notes. So great job, Jason. I thought I knew ChatGPT, but after an hour of that, I'm like, God, I don't know half of what I thought.
I love that. For those who are like, I don't have time for this, you don't have to know everything. I'm just trying to show you what's out there. And if it unlocks a little bit of an efficiency gain in your life, super duper. My number one goal for you is get in action and go get some listings and sell some houses.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, the cool thing, too, for those that are here, and hang around for 20 more seconds because we do have a couple of fun announcements. But like Jason said, we don't expect you guys to master all this in 1 hour. So we will get the recording out to you. We will get the prompts out to you. And like we talked about in the beginning, this was one of 2 sessions that we're going to launch. And I do want to take 30 seconds to actually thank the audience members, because when we did the event in Northern California and Southern California, we actually followed up a lot with you who participated in those events and asked, what specifically would you want to see from what Jason talked about during those 2 events? So a lot of what we're going to share here and then what we're going to share on the following event came from you guys. So thank you for those recommendations. And get your phones ready, because on March 12th, we're going to have our next big session, and Vin's going to give us the details on that one.
Yeah, guys, this is 2 sessions that we wanted to focus on. Today was really focusing on how to use ChatGPT as an extension of you, as Jason went through, and then how to develop some unique sort of marketing plans. But you guys also mentioned that you want to understand AI rankings and how to really take a generative engine optimization as your new SEO. So that's something that Jason's going to be going through in more detail, just like you did today. And then what we call the Zillow shift. So homebuyer research or search is moving into platforms like ChatGPT. How can you guys really be visible? So there's some tools and tricks that we're going to go through on that. That's going to be March 12th. It's going to be at the same time, 1 o'clock for you guys, right after lunch. So your loan officers will maybe bring in a little lunch and learn for you guys. I saw a lot of pictures of you guys having viewing parties, but love working with all of you. And we want to just be here as your value add. So thank you, guys. We'll see you on March 12th.
Yeah. Hey, Ben, can I have one thing real fast on that?
Absolutely.
There's some new stuff that we're going to get into on the next webinar that wasn't stuff when we were together in California for the 2 events. So that session's going to be different than this session. This session was very much let's get in and bootstrap with the tool. That session's going to be much more do this, do this, do this, and do this. It's going to give you the power moves of taking action. So expect it to feel different than today. And I'd love to see you there.
Awesome.
That's
Thanks,
all. That was a
guys.
horrible ending.
Wishing you the best, and we'll see you on March 12th. Take care. Cheers.
Bye.
Great job. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, everybody. See ya.